Yo, you like hounds? Well, if you don't, you're about to, because let me tell you about this unit. This unit is named a hound, first of all. Who wouldn't love it? Second of all, this thing is a walking shotgun. It has 4 legs and 4 cannons in the front. This thing shoots 4 shots, which totals to 246 damage times 5. Why is it times 5? You get 5 of these things. When you make a hound squad, you don't just get 1, you get 5 hounds overall. And that's what they look like. They're big, they're deadly. Look at that size. Look at the guy below. Just for reference, that thing is huge. This thing, it's also deadly. It has a move speed and an attack speed upgrade, once again with that mechanical rage, but look at that attack speed reduction, 0.8. That's almost a full second taken off. We're taking off a third of this unit's attack swing and just increasing it, the speed of it overall. And this unit also already runs at 10 move speed. 10 move speed is, I would say, in the middle of the pack for move speed units in this game. It's on the more respectable end, but there are units that can be up to all the way to 16. So this speed upgrade being able to pop us up all the way to 14 move speed is quite nice, because what this allows us to do is actually run into the fight and consistently not run it ahead and die in front of units that also might run at 16 move speed that might be bigger than a hound, or might need to also tank for the hound, like a crawler, or like something we haven't talked about yet, a rhino, which we'll get there. But yeah, move speed, it's great. I feel like this is really important because this, again, staying below 16 is actually really nice, because it allows this unit to stay aggressive and stay safe. Its attack has a splash as well, so this unit is wonderful at killing. The beautiful thing about this unit that I say all the time on my stream is this unit is great at killing chaff that's in the way, like crawlers and fangs, even when they get spread out and separated, because since you get 5 hounds, they're literally all attacking so often, and they're splashing, so they get rid of problems quickly, and other hounds have to move, and then they have an attack freed up again. They have an attack freed up again to just go off. They're really nice at just deleting things that are all over the place and in the way. But when you level these things up, which you can do in this game, see that? Oh my god, it changed color and its damage went up and its health went up. It's amazing when you level this unit. Its damage starts getting to very respectable amounts, and this unit can start actually killing bigger stuff as well. So this unit is, this is the first unit I would say we can talk about that fits the role of a carry in this game. This unit can absolutely control the fight if you invest into it and you have enough of them in areas to be able to cover the overall board. So it's relatively squishy. It's not the squishiest unit, but I would say anything that's below 10,000 health in this game has it's probably going to die relatively at a decent pace, like at a relatively quick pace. Anything that's below 1,000 HP in this game is going to die incredibly fast. That unit's going to be getting, that's like where we get down to, like, it's going to be getting 1 shot or getting 2 shot, like pretty early on in the game by a lot of things. Not everything will, obviously, but it's just kind of on the low end. So this unit, again, you don't really want it tanking that much for you if you're going to actually use it to carry. And if you're going to use it to DPS, it absolutely has the ability to do that. But its health is not the worst, as I was saying. So even if it does take some damage, a lot of times it can shrug off some things that wouldn't actually kill it. Its range is on the low end, but it does have a range upgrade, so you can always increase it and keep it back a little bit more. I would say, just for safety measures, if your unit does not have over 100 range in this game, it's going to be in the front of your army. Like, it's going to be leading the charge, and if this unit leads the charge, it will be dead a lot of times, unless, you know, unless there's nothing really of power for your opponent in that area. But a lot of times there will be. So range is going to really help you not only be more aggressive by killing stuff faster because you lock onto it quicker, but it'll also keep this unit safer, which allows it to continue to stay alive in the round, and continue to shoot, get shots off. You have Incendiary Bomb on this unit. Incendiary Bomb is another debuff in this game we have not talked about. It is fire, and what fire does, there's a lot of ways that fire can be activated in this game. We'll go through all the units that have it, eventually. But this unit does a missile, and each Hound pack fires a missile off that like locks on to whatever's closest on the ground to it. And once it's within 160 meters, it'll fire the shot off. It does have a dead zone, so if like something is on top of it, it won't shoot itself with fire. But yeah, like if at 160 meters away, which is more than double its overall attack range, so it's quite a bit further away than it can actually shoot at the start. It shoots fire. Once the fire hits a target, it just drops fire on the ground in that area, and fire basically just melts units with the damage over time. It persists on the ground for quite a bit. Most things will run through it. Most things from your backline to going forward will have run through a fire that exists on the board a lot of the time, unless it walks really slow. The only exceptions, like when you have like a 6 move speed unit all the way in the back, maybe they'll like take longer to get there. But most of the time, most of your units will run through it if fire is in the area, unless you also have this upgrade right here, which a Hound also has, which is Fire Extinguisher. This is the only unit in the game that can do this. You can actually remove the fire off the ground. You can, like when this unit walks within 40 meters of it, it basically makes a circle that starts, like imagine a circle around the Hound that just like cleans the floor as it goes forward. And if you have multiple Hounds, you have like multiple of them pushing it off. So if you have fire in the way, the Hounds will clear it out. And there is no cooldown on this. It just constantly, if there's ever fire around it, it cleans it off with a little fire extinguisher. So that's pretty nice for getting rid of fire if your army is, if whatever you're doing is like weak to fire, this would be a great upgrade to run. I'm not really doing things at the moment that I feel are weak to fire on the way I'm currently playing the game. So I don't currently run it, but it is still a good upgrade because it has so much utility in that sense. You can definitely change rounds with this upgrade at certain points in certain games, depending on composition and stuff. But yeah, I don't run it. It's a very good upgrade. It doesn't really, like I'm carrying with this unit, right? Like with the way I'm playing it right now. So it's okay. Like, again, not bad though. The last one I have is Armor Enhancement. This is particularly interesting. I would say this fits like a certain category that really needs to be understood in this game, because if you don't understand this and someone else does, they can definitely abuse you all the time. To explain what armor is, basically every unit has its damage registered on its card, and there are a lot of units in this game that hit on the relatively weaker end of damage. Like they have faster attack speeds, but they have like low damage. Like a unit like a Mustang, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but a unit like a Mustang is a perfect example of this, or like even like a Fang. Fang is doing 61 damage, okay? So what armor does is every single level the unit has that has armor. So if this Hound has armor, at level 1, it has, every time something attacks it, it just takes 60 damage off the top. So if a Fang is shooting at a Hound, which does 61 damage, this armor would only make the Fang do 1 damage every time it shoots. And then if you have a level 2 Hound, you get that upgrade again, like it doubles it. So now instead of blocking 60 damage, you block 120 damage. And then at level 3, instead of blocking 120 damage, you block 180 damage. So essentially what it does is if you can, this is how to think about it simply. If you have a unit with armor and you can out level the units on his side, so if you can just be simply a higher level than him on those units with armor, they will basically turn off all of the damage that gets turned off by armor if your opponent is under leveled behind you. There are ways, again, to modify damage, and leveling is one of them, and it's a huge way. But being able to level and modify armor is really good too, because you can, again, you can make this unit literally immune to damage from a lot of things in this game. Every unit's auto attack is the same. It's all just like damage. And then armor is the only form of reducing that, other than just trying to get more hit points to absorb more of it. Portable shield is obviously something we already talked about, but that's not actually reducing it. That's just adding health to your unit in a different way. But yeah, this is an incredibly good upgrade that basically makes your unit have hard counter effects to a lot of things on the board, because you can just make their damage and nullify it. So this is a very, very good upgrade. I think if you're trying to make this unit your carry, sometimes it does turn into a front line because you're investing heavily into it. So having armor really allows it to like exist in that state where like your chaff dies relatively fast and the Hound just doesn't give a shit and it just keeps pushing through most of the units. Because the armor really helps it out in situations like that. But yeah, anyways, and there are other things too. Like here's an example. Sorry, this is something that I think needs to be touched on too. That's really important to understand. So fire, things and numbers and things like that do get patched, but it's never too crazy how it gets patched. This game, I would say, is very good at balancing overall. So a lot of their patches are very minor tweaks here and there because they already are like happy with the values they've established. Mostly, like obviously nothing is perfect and things all get patched here and there whenever situations arise. But what I'm trying to say is my number may not be accurate exactly, but the concept is always going to be the same. I believe fire does 70 damage every second. And or like 70, it does 70 damage like ticks or something like that, and it does 350 damage a second. I think that's what it is. But that's just how it works. That's how the math in this game works, is fire does damage that can be blocked by armor. So one thing that's really nice is when your opponent uses fire, which is why I actually don't run this. If my opponent runs fire to kill my hounds, I can use armor to level 1. It does like very tiny amounts of damage. It's doing like 10 damage, 10 damage, 10 damage, 10 damage. And my Hound has, at level 1, it has 897. So we're talking 887, 877, 867, blah, blah, blah. Think about it as like I have like 89 seconds or 90 seconds basically to live if I'm standing in fire. But realistically, what happens when you get armor is once you have it, your Hounds are basically going to survive, even if they're level 1. But if they're level 2 or above, you don't take damage to fire. You're immune to fire. You just have fire immunity because it's doing 70, 70, 70, 70, and you have 120. So you're blocking 70 with 120. And then if you go anything above that, it doesn't matter. It still does 0 damage. So you're just immune to fire on this unit. And it's crazy because you can play, like whenever fire happens on the board, you can play a lot greedier around it and be like, I don't give a shit. Let's turn this board into hell. I don't care. I'll run through the fire. And I love it. Sounds crazy. So yeah, that's what I run on a Hound, and we'll do some Hound games. I'll show you guys what I think is good with Hounds. But Hound is, again, the first unit I would say we've talked about that is a good carry. And enjoy your Hound games, guys.